Today, we're looking into everything that we know about the new and upcoming Deadpool film. This will be one of the first films in the 6th phase of the Marvel Universe, so let's go ahead and see what we can expect from the film about the merc with the mouth. What is Deadpool 3? Deadpool 3 is the latest installment in the Deadpool franchise. It will follow the misadventures of the titular mercenary Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool. The movies in this series have followed him from a mercenary with a sarcastic sense of humor to a regenerating anti-hero. In this, the films have followed the character story from the comics. Deadpool can trace his origins back to the New Mutant with his first appearance in number 98 in 1991, though it would probably surprise many of his fans today that he started as a villain. He was an antagonist towards the New Mutants, but it wasn't until the mid-90s that his character changed. From there, he started to turn into the hero that we know today, and the one the films are based on. Previous Deadpool films. Deadpool's latest sequel is the 3rd entry in his series, and it will serve as a direct follow-up to his previous films. In the first film, Wade Wilson is a mercenary with a heart of gold who contracts cancer. In an attempt to fight fate, he signs up for a secret program that can give him superpowers in the hope of curing it. The project does just that, but with unexpected side effects. Worse, the project wants to turn him into a living weapon that they can sell. After escaping, Deadpool goes on a mission to take down the evil organization for revenge. In Deadpool 2, we follow Deadpool as he continues his career as an anti-hero, only to end up losing the woman that he loves. In a chance circumstance, he meets a mutant boy who is being targeted by a time-traveling cyborg named Cable.
Hello, Russell.
Deadpool vows to protect the kid and ends up meeting a variety of allies and enemies as he does so. The series has always been aimed at a unique mix of humor and action, with the 3rd entry appearing to be no different. So let's break down what we might see in the next entry. What is Deadpool 3 about? At this time, the plot of Deadpool 3 is currently unknown, but there have been some behind-the-scenes clues that are tipping us off about it. The first of these, and by far and away the biggest, is the fact that Wolverine will be a central character in this film. He's not a cameo, but a full-fledged character. His interactions with Deadpool will be a big part of the film. We also know that this will not be retconning the character's death in Logan, so it must occur before that.
Logan takes place in 2029, totally separate thing. Logan died in Logan, not touching that.
Another aspect that gives us a huge clue about the film is the fact that it is a Marvel Studios project. This means that it will be canon to the MCU and have an impact on that cinematic universe. We're not aware of how this will tie the two universes together, or if it will even be relevant for most of the 3rd entry, but it seems likely that it will come up. The fact that it takes place at the beginning of Phase 6 means it may be important to end the multiverse saga in the MCU. With these two facets together, it seems very likely that the film could take any number of directions, but Wolverine seems to be the more important for the story. We could be getting a modified version of the good, the bad, and the ugly storyline from the comic. This storyline was a huge shake for Deadpool, and it included both Captain America and Wolverine. The context of the story follows Deadpool finding out more about the Weapons Plus program and shutting down some old remnants. This seems like a good course, given both characters that will be in the film. It would also seem likely that some event towards the end of the film, or even after it's finished, will thrust Deadpool into the MCU. Now, being able to break the 4th wall, Deadpool would be aware of this, but it might still be confusing for him. This could potentially tie into a multiverse-threatening event that he may have to help with so that the universe can be spared. How his particular streak of humor and violence will blend into the MCU remains to be seen. Who is going to be in Deadpool 3? Deadpool 3 is slated to have an impressive cast, with both returning and new faces to be set in the film. The first of these is Ryan Reynolds himself, who will return to the character again for the 4th time. He is synonymous with Deadpool at this point, and I don't think there's another actor that could play the character. Speaking of actors who are so ingrained with a role that almost no one else could play it, Hugh Jackman is set to reprise his role as Wolverine in Deadpool 3. Jackman had commented that he was done with the character in the past, but Ryan Reynolds convinced him to return.
Hey, Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
He has commented that he thinks this might be the most fun he's had while playing the character, which tells us a lot about what we might see. Emma Corrin is the other new face that will be joining the Deadpool cast. While their role is undisclosed at this time, it's rumored that they'll be playing the villain. It'll be interesting to see who that character might be, given this would be a more centralized Deadpool villain. We also know that Matthew McFadden is going to be joining the cast, but his role also remains unknown at this time. Other than this, most of the original cast has been confirmed or at least hinted to return. Leslie Uggams, Morena Baccarin, Stefan Kapicic, and Brianna Hildebrand are all confirmed to be returning as their characters Blind Al, Vanessa, Colossus, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Even smaller side characters such as Karen Sony, Shioli Katsuna, and Rob Delaney will reprise their roles as Dopinder, Yukio, and Peter. The only one not asked to return was T.J. Miller, who had previously played Deadpool's friend Weasel. The only actors who are not confirmed either way were Josh Brolin and Zazie Beetz, who played Cable and Domino in Deadpool 2. This film is pretty full as it is, but we could still see them making an appearance. Production of Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3's production has been on track ever since the initial film was announced. There were many who were wondering if we would even get a third film after Disney acquired Fox. It didn't immediately seem like Deadpool would fit within the company's brand, but much to the surprise and joy of many, Disney announced the new film. After the announcement of the film, Sean Levy was selected as director and has been with the project since. He was initially joined by writers Wendy Molyneux and Lizzie Molyneux-Logelin, who are popular as comedy writers as well as series veterans Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. Ryan Reynolds has said that he is also a co-writer of the film. The last question that was on everyone's mind for the production was whether this film would get its R rating. That question was soon answered, though, and it will indeed receive an R like its predecessors. This was more than likely due to fans weighing in and the lackluster response to the PG-13 version of Deadpool 2. Is there a trailer? There is currently no trailer for Deadpool 3, but there are a few teasers that you can see. One is of Reynolds working on the script for the film. The other is of Jackman and Reynolds announcing Wolverine being in the film and then being drowned by the music. Both of these are funny, and while they don't tell us a lot about the film, something is better than nothing. Due to the release, it would seem logical to see a trailer in the next few months, maybe by January or February of 2024. When will it release? We do know that Deadpool 3 has set its release date to November 8, 2024. This gives the film a little bit over a year and a half to finish filming and production. It's just started filming, and the date is far away, so almost anything could happen in between. But the film has been going strong so far, so it appears it will have a favorable production. The fact that it will have to accommodate other MCU projects could affect the timeline of the film. More than likely, it will remain near the beginning of Phase 6 so that it can provide a pivotal point for that section of the MCU. That's all we have on Deadpool 3 for now. While you're here, why don't you go ahead and check out our next recommended video to learn more?
It's over. Go home.